Michael Jackson was born to Joseph Walter Jackson and Catherine Esther Jackson on August 29, 1958, in Gary, Indiana. He was the eighth of 10 children in the Jackson family. Michael's mother, Catherine Esther Jackson, had a rich musical heritage. She played both clarinet and piano and harbored ambitions of becoming a country and western performer. She worked part-time at Sears to support the family. Michael's father, Joseph Walter Jackson, was a former boxer, and he worked as a crane operator at U.S. Steel. He also played guitar with a local rhythm and blues band called Falcons for extra income. Michael had 3 sisters, Rebbe, LaToya, and Janet, and 5 brothers, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, and Randy. Jackson family was known for their musical talent, and siblings were encouraged from the young age to pursue their musical interest. Michael's father was a disciplinarian, and he used to be very strict, at times harsh with his children during rehearsals in pursuit of perfection. Joseph Jackson was determined to ensure success of their children in the music industry, and his unwavering ambition was instrumental in shaping their early careers. It was evident right from the early childhood that Michael was destined for greatness. He began his music career at just 5 years old, joining his older brothers in the Jackson 5 band. Michael's undeniable talent and infectious energy made him the standout member of the group, quickly capturing the hearts of audiences around the world. Jackson 5's popularity soared in due course, and it was clear that Michael was destined for a solo career. In 1971, at the age of just 13, he released his debut solo album, Got to Be There. The album was a massive success, showcasing Michael's incredible vocal range and dance moves. It was the beginning of what would become one of the most successful careers in music history. Throughout the 1970s, Michael continued to dominate the music scene with hits like Ben and Rockin' Robin. But it was the release of his 1979 album, Off the Wall, that truly solidified his status as a music icon. The album featured classics like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You, earning Michael his first Grammy Award and cementing his reputation as a solo artist. But it was the release of his 1982 album, Thriller, that catapulted Michael Jackson to worldwide superstardom. The album became the best-selling album of all time, and over 70 million copies were sold worldwide. The album's groundbreaking music videos like Billie Jean, Beat It, iconic title track, Thriller, and the 14-minute short film for Thriller, revolutionized the music industry and solidified Michael's place in pop culture history. Jackson announced his split from Jacksons during the last concert of Victory Tour in 1984 at the Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Michael was never complacent with all the laurels, but pushed the boundaries of music and entertainment. The 1987 album, Bad, which spawned 5 #1 hits, including Smooth Criminal and The Way You Make Me Feel, skyrocketed his reputation as the king of pop. His electrifying live performances, including the legendary Bad World Tour, showcased his unmatched talent and charisma, leaving audiences in awe all over the world. Michael continued to release hit albums like Dangerous and History, Past, Present and Future, Book I, in 1990s, and he became one of the most successful and influential artists of all time. He remained focused on his music, releasing albums like Invincible in 2001 and thrilling audiences with his unforgettable performances, including the 2001 tribute concert, Michael Jackson, 30th Anniversary Celebration. His honors include 15 Grammy Awards, 6 Brit Awards, a Golden Globe Award, and 39 Guinness World Records, including the most successful entertainer of all time. Jackson's inductions include the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, twice, the Vocal Group Hall of Fame, the Songwriters Hall of Fame, the Dance Hall of Fame, making him the only recording artist to be inducted, and the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame. He had done several charitable concerts for a variety of causes, and he worked very closely with organizations like Heal the World Foundation. His heart of gold and passion for making a difference endeared him to fans around the world. Michael was exposed to fame at a very young age, and his life had always been under the scrutiny from the public and media. Michael suffered second-degree burns to his scalp in an accident during Pepsi commercial shoot. Jackson suffered a skin disease, vitiligo, a condition characterized by patches of the skin losing their pigment. Jackson became a figure of controversy and speculation since late 1980 because of his changing appearance, relationship, behavior, and lifestyle. It was reported in 1986 that Michael was sleeping in hyperbaric oxygen chamber to slow aging, but he denied the story. He was accused of sexually abusing the child of a family friend. The lawsuit was settled out of the court and the prosecution dropped the case for the want of evidence. The general public and the media speculated that Michael underwent several cosmetic surgeries, and he was said to have been taking female hormone shots to keep his voice high and facial hair wispy. It was speculated that he was suffering from anorexia nervosa, which caused periods of weight loss in the later part of his life. It was reported that Jackson proposed to Elizabeth Taylor and built a shrine of her. He was married to Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of Elvis Presley, in 1994, but they were separated in December 1995 and the formal divorce followed thereafter. Jackson married Debbie Rowe, a dermatology assistant in Sydney, Australia during History World Tour. Michael Joseph Jackson Jr., known as Prince, was born on February 13, 1997, and Paris Michael Catherine Jackson was born on April 3, 1998. The couple divorced in 2000 and Rowe conceded the custody of the children with an $8 million settlement. Michael Jackson left a lasting legacy as a prolific philanthropist and humanitarian. Throughout Jackson's public life, he dedicated himself to various humanitarian causes, particularly in areas regarding poverty, disease, welfare, and disadvantaged youth. Jackson's early charitable work has been described by the Chronicle of Philanthropy as having paved the way for the current surge in celebrity philanthropy, and by the Los Angeles Times as having set the standard for generosity for other entertainers. By some estimates, he donated over $500 million to charity over the course of his life, at one time being recognized in Guinness World Records for the breadth of his philanthropic work. The actual amount of donations made by Jackson may be even higher, but the exact amount is not known since Jackson often gave anonymously and without fanfare. In addition to supporting a substantial number of charities established by others, in 1992 Jackson established the Heal the World Foundation, to which he donated several $1 million in revenue from his Dangerous World Tour. Jackson's philanthropic activities also included performing in benefit concerts and giving away tickets for regular concert performances to groups aiding underprivileged children, making hospital visits to sick children. He opened his home for visits, with attention to providing special facilities and nurses if the children needed that level of care. He also donated valuable personal and professional paraphernalia for numerous charity auctions. Jackson received various awards and accolades for his philanthropic work, including 2 bestowed by presidents of the United States. On May 14, 1984, President Ronald Reagan gave Jackson a Presidential Humanitarian Award recognizing his support of alcohol and drug abuse charities, and of anti-drunk driving efforts. Prior to collecting the award, President Reagan sent Jackson a telegram, which read, "Your deep faith in God and adherence to traditional values are an inspiration to all of us. You've gained quite a number of fans along the road since I Want You Back, and Nancy and I are among them. Keep up the good work, Michael. We're very happy for you." The presentation took place on May 14, 1984, at the White House. Upon reaching the podium, Reagan remarked, "I hope you'll forgive me, but we have quite a few young folks in the White House who all wanted me to give you the same message. They said to tell Michael, please give some TLC to the PYTs." A reference to Jackson's Grammy Award-nominated song, PYT, Pretty Young Thing. Reagan also stated that Jackson is proof of what a person can accomplish through a lifestyle free of alcohol or drug abuse. People young and old respect him for this. If Americans follow his example, then we can face up to the problem of drinking and driving, and we can, in Michael's words, beat it. On May 1, 1992, President George H.W. Bush also presented Jackson with an award acknowledging him as a Point of Light Ambassador. In 2000, Guinness World Records recognized him for supporting 39 charities, more than any other entertainer. Jackson was twice nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize for his humanitarian work, first in 1998 and again in 2003. After Jackson's death in 2009, many charitable donations were made in honor of his philanthropic work. Several speakers at the Michael Jackson Memorial Service referenced Jackson's philanthropic work, with Kobe Bryant of the Los Angeles Lakers calling Jackson a true humanitarian, who gave as much off stage as he did on stage. Over 15,000 people petitioned for another Nobel Peace Prize nomination for Jackson, but the timing of his death made Jackson ineligible for consideration. Jackson's song, "Man in the Mirror," was performed as the finale of the 2009 Nobel Peace Prize concert. Michael Jackson, who was so generous to countless philanthropic causes, went through huge financial problems in the later part of his life with mounting debts and lawsuits. He planned for a world tour this is to be held in London, Paris, Mumbai and other places to revive the deteriorating financial situation, and he was to retire after this tour. The tickets were sold out everywhere, but Michael Jackson died 3 weeks before the beginning of the tour on June 25, 2009, due to cardiac arrest caused by overdose of propofol, administered by his personal physician Conrad Murray. News of his death spread quickly online, causing websites to slow down and crash from user overload, and it put unprecedented strain on many services and websites including Google, AOL Instant Messenger, Twitter and Wikipedia. Jackson's memorial, held on July 7, 2009, at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, was attended by 8,750 people drawn at random from over 1.6 million applicants. The memorial service was one of the most watched events in streaming history, 324, with an estimated U.S. audience of 31.1 million and a worldwide audience of an estimated 2.5 to 3 billion. Mariah Carey, Stevie Wonder, Lionel Richie, Jennifer Hudson, and Shaheen Jaffer Goli performed at the memorial, and Smokey Robinson and Queen Latifah gave eulogies. Al Sharpton received a standing ovation with cheers when he told Jackson's children, "Wasn't nothing strange about your daddy. It was strange what your daddy had to deal with. But he dealt with it anyway." Michael Jackson's life was a testament to the power of music and art to unite and inspire, and he will always be remembered as one of the greatest entertainers of all time.